Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. How you doing? This is yet another episode of People Like Us, where we aim to bring people closer together through acknowledgement, understanding, and the education of each other. Today, well, first off, we want to make sure we say hello because my co-host, Toni Trower, the lovely and beautiful Toni Trower. Say hi, Toni.
Hi.
All right. We're going to introduce our special guest in a minute. I want to say, you guys know me. I'm Captain America. No?
Oh, I guess so.
I got this. Okay. All right, maybe not. All right. If I'm not Captain America, I guess I'm Brett Jolly. So you can give me a hand. There you go. All right. There we go. All right. Today's special feature is a gentleman that probably you all may have come across. I don't know how many will remember him or not. I love the hat he's got on.
Love it.
Yeah, I love the hat he's got. He's a jamming man. I want you guys to give it up, please, for Herb Smith.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. Okay, Herb, there's a lot on the table here. I want you to tell them about some of the stuff that you do.
Current or the head past or...
Man, that's probably a lot. Just give us an overall segment. We're going to cover all of it. But we just want to get an overall understanding.
Okay. I'll start from the back in the day.
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine. That's
All
perfect.
right. Okay, I was born in 1954. No.
I was born and raised. Patrick,
No, I'm going to do that to y'all. No. But I've been playing my guitar since I was 10. That's 1964 if anybody cares. The Beatles hit. I love them because my mom had private school in upstate New York. I was getting all this English stuff and I could hear it. I copped it. I had some guitar lessons back then. Then it just evolved. I got my first gig on the road when I was 13, 1967,
Wow.
with my boy Jimmy Townsend. And we were backing this singer named Lucky Terrell. And it's 1967. I love this story. We went and played this place called Henry's Beach. And we got there, it was a Ku Klux Klan rally. Seriously. They told me because it was it was a dark country road. And at the end of it was fire. We got closer, it was a burning cross. 1967. So this is the civil rights thing.
Yes.
So anyway, the next day was summer. I'm walking on the beach and my buddies were in the boat. They said, "Herbie, go back." What? Go back. Went back and they said, "You were gonna walk onto the white beach."
Oh.
I would have been like Emmett Till back then. Anyway, so luckily I got out of that. Evolved into other things. Met my boy Billy Little. He joined us when he was 12, the Mellow Men. I was 14, and we did our gigs around Southwest Philly back in a million singing groups, and a career built from that.
Wow.
My man Jimmy Towns, that's Jazzy Jeff's big brother. That's my first bass player.
Gotcha, okay.
And so he went to the war in Vietnam in 1970. I was 16. Billy took me up to Germantown. I met this brother named Derek Graves, great bass player.
Oh, yeah, Derek, yeah.
And we played through the summer of 1970. Derek later called me in 1976. "Hey, Herb, this cat named Dexter Wanzel is starting a band. You want to join?" So that's how I got the Dexter gig. Wow. Called Dexter. I said to him, "Yo, man, where we having rehearsal?" "I don't know yet." I said, "You can have it at my house." Literally. And he said, "Okay, we'll have it at your house." And I'm standing on the porch that day at rehearsal, and in comes out the cab is Gene Carr, and I'm like,
This is amazing.
this is really what happened. And so the whole music business came to me in my basement. We had Billy Johnson on drums, Derek Graves, Dexter.
Yes.
Dexter. We had another cat that he had on keyboards named, what was that boy's name? Steve Gold. Bobby Mallet. Oh, jeez, I'm losing it. Anyway, it's a really good band.
Wow.
And ran with him, got to play on records through him, and a whole career built. That's how the Patti LaBelle opportunity opened.
That was going to be one of my questions,
That's
too.
exactly what led to Patti, because I was getting exposure playing on these records as a guitar player. And at first, our manager, Patti, also managed Dexter. He called me one day, "Patti needs a guitar player. Do you know anybody?" I called Ronnie Smith. Got Ronnie Smith the gig with Patti. Okay. Ronnie and Billy played with him for a year. They left in around 1980. And the Philly sound and the records were starting to peter off. Through Dexter, I got songs out. I still get royalties on this one song that I got out. Ew. And had 2 songs on Patti, too. Anyway, so career is really building. I got a call back by Herb, Patti, they want you to be the guitar player. I turned it down at first. 6 months later, got a call again. You don't have to audition, just come. And at that time, the manager who managed Dexter and Patty knew my pockets were shot. So I said, okay. I went and joined her. It was the best decision ever. Ran with her for basically 20 years.
Wow.
It was 1980 to 2002. I say it's 20 years because I was fired 2 times in the beginning, in the middle. Not because I did anything wrong. I was explaining, because I could sing. When Patty was off, I got these gigs with Rita Stafford. You know Rita?
I've heard that.
Yeah, and she was booked me doing down the shore with her little quartet in 1986. And I would call Patty's office. They let me know what's going on, so I'd book around it. And we did this one audition down Cape May for the fall of '87. They wanted that band. I had to sign contracts. I would call Patty's office every month. Patty's got nothing going on in '87 until the fall. Okay? That's what they told me. Look, I got too close. I had to sign this contract by June of '87. And they said, she's got nothing going on until the fall. So, man, I could do this Cape May gig, sign the contract. Bud pulled me in the studio a week later, and we go in, and he's, Herb, didn't you hear? What? We're going to Japan next week. I'm like, I can't go. I signed this contract. Long story short, so I got fired for a year. That's Darren got the gig the first time.
Gotcha, okay.
And they had Darren and this other white cat playing guitar. So that year went by, and I was got fired from Rita's too, because Rita was crazy.
Oh, boy.
Because what happened was, Rita was getting, both her and her boyfriend were getting leadership cut at this gig we were playing with the quartet in Cape May, which was effed up.
Gotcha.
And the owners of the place told me about it because they didn't like her. Okay, so she basically admitted, it was messed up. So Rita got tired of my attitude about it and let me go. So it's okay. I had this other agent that booked down there. She dug me. She helped me put my own little trio together. It didn't happen with tracks and stuff, but that introduced me to that. And I just evolved, got gigs around, got called back into Patty's band a year later, offered to get back, and went back. Got fired again.
Oh, Lord,
I'm telling you what happened because I had an issue. I love my baby Stacy. Stacy's Patty's niece. She became our band manager, but she would call off the itinerary at will, which is not fair. Because as a professional musician, my itinerary is how I can book around what I'm doing out here.
Right.
Okay? And so I had an issue about that. And they fired me. But I did this, finish the tour, they fired me.
Wait a minute. When you're fired, do they say like you're fired, or they just say we're gonna go with somebody else?
No, what happened was after the end of the tour, I came to pick my equipment up. The rehearsal hall was over there on Whitby Avenue, off of Whitby Avenue, and Scott Charles and Miss Belton doesn't need you anymore. I said okay.
Okay, so it's not like you're fired.
Well, it is.
We hate. Oh, it still is like that.
You're
Oh,
fired.
okay.
But it's okay though.
That's right.
But you see, I have to understand something. I really want to emphasize this. Patty's gig was a blessing, but I am a man. Okay, and there's certain things as far as being on the road, and at that time, as you know, the Philly sound had gone away, and it was a great opportunity. Whatever I was doing, they dug. So they got me back in. I went back with all humility. I didn't go back with any big head. And so I was fired, but offered to gig back a year later. She not only fired, she fired our percussionist too at one time because of the same thing. He went off and did other gigs. The first time when we all got fired in '87, after they pulled us back, they set it up where we weren't independent contractors, where we had full unemployment when the thing shut down.
That's
so that
cool.
meant that you could go and do outside gigs, but you had consistent money.
That's cool.
And so that was beautiful. But that was after we both got fired. I got fired. She just got fired. So anyway, it's all good. Anyway, the second time, we got called back in. It was crazy. So Darren was playing, and they had Quasi on drums.
Okay.
And they called us. I don't know if those cats know this, but I got a call, and John Parrish got a call. We went them back. So what we want you to do, we're sending you guys tickets to Buffalo. We're playing there. Come to the hotel, drop your stuff off. Come to the gig, but we want you guys to sneak up to the balcony because we don't want the band to see you. So what happened? So we went up to the balcony, watched the show. And I was digging on why they wanted me back. And Darren, not slighting him, he's a great guitar player.
He's a great guitar player.
But from my take, it was the acoustic guitar stuff.
Right.
Okay, I could be wrong, but that's how I felt. So anyway, I came back and I lasted and established the right house First thing I did, paid mom's house off.
Right.
Got this house up in Upper Darby. Plan B, school bus.
Okay.
And kept my license in force for that. So when the final firing went down in 2002, because she got a new boyfriend made a manager, and he wanted to get the 20-year cats out of there.
Wow.
It was cold.
I mean, honestly, that's corporate-ish. You know what I mean? That's what they do.
You have to understand there is no bitterness. The gig was a successful gig for me. It's the success that runs.
Right.
It's reflected in my Social Security check.
There you go.
Right?
I got a fat, nice Social Security because of a 20-year career with playing with Patty.
Yeah.
And so it's been an amazing ride. I still get royalties on my songs from back in the day.
Okay, question for you.
I love it. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
I just love the fact that they treated it like a business, and you guys actually get Social Security, you got unemployment.
Yeah.
I think that was
because I paid
good
my
business
taxes.
model.
It wasn't them.
Oh, okay.
I got paid what I got paid, and I paid every time I got paid. I paid. And
you paid into it.
I paid into Social Security because if you pay your taxes, you're paying into Social Security.
But they did give you unemployment. So they paid into the unemployment.
They paid into the unemployment, but that was when we came back.
Yeah,
because at first they were seeing us as independent contractors.
Okay.
And in business wise, I would imagine on that level it's better. They don't have to deal with you.
Of
probably
course.
understand.
Yes,
okay,
I do.
so but what happened with me being fired and the percussionist being fired because we went off and did other things? I think at some point at that time, that's 1987, they realized if we want these guys, we got to set up something else.
I thought that was nice.
But it was a real gig.
Yeah.
And so, but the third time being fired, I was in preparation of that. People don't understand. That's true, but three. But see, I really want to emphasize, it was good on another level because I did go home. And you're dealing with your life in a real way because if you have this kind of gig and you have the adoration that people are laying on you when you get off the plane and you come home and go to the Hollywood Palace, Herb Smith of Patti LaBelle. That was not really me. I'm just an employed guy playing guitar.
Right.
So long as you can keep that perspective, you
Humble.
will be fine.
Stay humble.
And you have to understand because that once the gig ended finally, I was actually all right with it because there were some other things I felt like the respect wasn't there for what I was doing. So let me just go home.
Yeah.
And plus my daughter was 3 then. And she's now... It was time. She's 25 now. The chick is busting the bar thing to become a lawyer. She already graduated law school.
That's a beautiful thing.
It.
That's a real beautiful thing.
I love it.
So would you if they offered you the job one more time, would you take it?
I don't see why they'd want to do that.
I understand, but if they did.
If they did, because what I'm saying, first off...
I got your number now.
They got your number, that's right.
First off, I'm established in a whole other way. I don't know if I told you guys, I build these backing tracks, and I work all the time.
Okay.
I have these gigs I do. I have several restaurants we go and play. I make money, and I get the tracks to do what I'm playing, bass, drums, guitar, and keyboards in these tracks.
Beautiful.
And singing the backgrounds. I can let y'all hear some of this stuff. So that has become a success in itself, and I'm the boss.
Right.
I'm like, the first time in my career, I'm self-employed. So if they were to offer the gig back, it would have to be a whole lot of money, plus contracts. I'm not playing around with the boyfriend firing me again.
Right. I understand.
So I don't see why she'd want to do. I wouldn't want her to do that.
Well,
Go get this young kid with the stars in his eyes, and there are too many good guitar players out here. So I see this from their viewpoint too. Well,
Patty and Smokey and a lot of them, they're up there in age now.
Yeah.
So I mean, how much do you know how much they're performing now?
Well, I don't know. I know Patty's doing her thing. The band sounds great, the new band.
Okay.
And so I don't really know the extent of what she's doing. But I would imagine, at 80 years old, I could imagine this can't be kind of what we were doing back then.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
Like,
I was 26 when I joined her in 1980. She was 36.
Yeah, that's when people have like all the energy in the world,
But it was a great ride. And I'm so blessed and fortunate in my career. And so I landed this one restaurant, this La Chena up in Ben Salem. I'm still there, thankfully.
How do you spell it?
Lacena. It's L-A, I think it's hyphen, I think they put in the air, C-E-N-A.
Okay.
It's a restaurant in Ben Salem.
What days are you there?
This weekend, me and Kim are playing. Kim Payton.
Oh, I like.
You know Kim?
Yes.
Kim was good.
You know who her mother was?
Brenda Payton.
Brenda
Yes,
Payton
from
of the Tabulations.
That's right. That's
I
right.
went
Oh,
to a funeral
she has a
years ago.
beautiful voice.
Oh, I love Kim. I love working with her.
Beautiful voice.
Yeah.
She's my baby.
really
We
good.
have our things every now and then, but I love you, Kim. You know, she's a great lady.
Oh.
Great singer. And then I have the honor of having Masha T work with me.
Oh,
Oh
Masha,
yeah, we
And,
did an interview on her. Well, actually, her
her
father,
dad,
which
yeah.
is actually
I love that lady too. I love her.
She's a great
She's a
person.
great lady.
Very
And
down to earth.
her
Yes, she
father
is.
is
Yes,
even
she is.
is even an absolute blessing.
I have not got to talk with him yet.
Really?
I know he's a guitar player.
He was a guitar player.
Yeah, she showed me pictures.
Man,
And she
listen.
told me he's not really playing now.
Well, yeah, but,
but
things happen over time.
Yeah,
but you know what he's had a great life.
Really? I can't wait to hear the stuff he was doing.
Yeah.
Oh, was it over in Ukraine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ukraine
yeah.
area,
Wow,
yeah.
wow.
Ukraine and Russia, all that stuff. It's
Because I saw the pictures. This cat, he's a rocker. Look at this dude. I
Yeah.
saw the pictures.
That's where
But-
she gets her amazing voice from.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
her musical
Yeah,
ability.
wow.
It
She-
runs in the family.
I love that lady. She's just a gem. As she's a musician, so she already knows. Like I'll tell her, I'm doing such and such a song on you. Because the thing with her, not growing up here, I have to pick repertoire, and so a lot of it, I'll ask her some things. I'll do Tina Marie stuff. I have that. But see, the thing is with Tina Marie and that, some of that stuff didn't cross over. Do you know what I mean by that?
right. I understand, right.
So if it's not recognizable, you can get away with some of it.
Right.
but
And
none-
so I've
none
done
of it.
Sucker for Your Love. We do that one. And then I'm putting together that. It's another one I'm going to do with her that I have to build. But she's a gem.
My favorite tune of Tina Marie's, and I've had a chance to play for it once. A song called "Cradle Robbing Me."
Cradle Robin. I've
You never heard that?
Never heard it.
Man, it's like, oh, that's a great tune. I love it. Of course, I'm different. I'm Captain America.
No, it's probably something. Look, she's all.
I'm Captain America.
No, it's probably awesome. See, the thing when I go through, when you do this cover thing, I think a lot of it, where my success at this thing is, I've been 17 years at La Chena, and we have all these other rooms we're doing, is your job is to pick music that evokes memory.
Right.
Because these people are coming in. So what I'll do is, if one of my singers suggests a song, or I suggest a song, or I think a song, I'll go and look at Billboard and see what number that sucker got to
That's
when
a
it
good
came
idea.
out.
That's
Right.
right.
Because it's important. If it's in the top 100, what's it, the 100? Then that means it's a crossover record. So if it's over in there is some recognition value. And generally what you'll hear is when you go in Wawa or you go to these other places, they will play music that did that. Those kind of numbers back in when they did it because it's subliminal.
Yeah.
Right.
And when people will be like,
It's
in Wawa shopping.
It's a recall.
And so what happens is the publishing, that's where the publishing interest happens with the people who have the publishing back in the day.
Gotcha.
So if I pull a song and it doesn't have high numbers of what it did back then, it can't really help me
Right,
in
I
this
got you.
3 minutes of what we're doing.
Right.
I might as well do one of my songs that they don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They don't know that either.
Or original. Yeah.
Yeah, original song that I have. So that's kind of my philosophy with it.
No, it's
but-
a good philosophy
Yeah.
because you're out there. Actually, almost like commercial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that leads me to the next point because we got about 3 minutes left. But what you're writing your own tunes now?
I've always written.
Okay.
I wrote songs.
Tell
with
us a little
Dexter.
bit about that, please.
Well, the song I did on Dexter Wanzel in 1978, I recorded in my basement. Back in then, I had my studio, my 4-track studio. I was one of the first cats to have one back then. But anyway, because I could play drums, I would mic the drums with 3 tracks, bounce them down on 1 track. While the bounce is going, I'd play bass and mix the drums and bass together on 1 track. Then I would call my boy Crockett to come over, drop some keys. I play guitar and keys. Now we have 2 tracks of the drums and keep the rhythm section.
Gotcha.
The other 2 tracks I sing vocals or whatever. So that's how I got my music to happen. I got a good sound in my little studio, and so I presented this song to Dexter just to let him hear it. He calls me and said, "Herbie, what? I'm putting that song on my next album."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
"What?"
what? How amazing!
And it's called New Beginnings,
Ooh.
Dexter Wanzel, which features me singing the lead,
Really?
playing guitar, and I played drums on the record
Okay.
because he dug my drum work.
Oh wow!
And so well, this is really funny to Daryl. Thank you, Quasi. He called Daryl in for the drum session because he had everything, learned the song on piano. All right, Herbie, go. So, bang, I just played my parts down as I did it at home. He played the piano against it because he learned the song. One take. Daryl was there. He got knocked out of a drum session because in case I was going to blow it, you know. But so that song is the one that Puffy sampled in 1998 that became a big rap record on Lil' Kim and the Lox.
History
Yeah,
right
so that
there.
one still gives me some like royalty love.
Oh man!
And I met that guy, Styles P. He was one of the guys at Lox. He played at the winery maybe a couple months ago, and I got to meet him.
Nice.
They were really excited to. I'm the guy who wrote the song that they sampled.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's
really good.
So it's been a great ride, man. It's really, and it continues.
You got a lot going on.
I'm doing what I do. Man.
I want to ask you. So you do tracks, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you do tracks for just yourself, or would you sell tracks to
I
other?
can sell people, yeah, but they're gonna cost some money.
Okay.
One of my singers got pissed. One of my singers here a couple years ago. She was Herb. You told me you were gonna help me get my songs to happen, my thing to happen. I said no problem. She had an audition. I went over to the place and played my track so she could sing to it. She called me back. Kind of angry. You told me you were going to help me. I said, why? I said, yeah, I wouldn't do it. Well, I want those tracks. I said, well, they're going to cost you this. Back then it was like $100. $100? If they're on their line, you can get them. I said, we should get them online.
Yeah,
then.
get them online.
I mean, this features me playing drums, bass, and guitar. You know what I'm trying to say?
I understand.
And so...
You always never settle for anything less than what you're worth.
I'm like, that's my way. This is what I do. I'm not just giving it to you. So she had an attitude about
I mean, like the stuff online is like basically the original song where they take the vocals out.
They take the vocals out.
So that's different than a production.
Yeah.
So some people have to understand that the quality is different.
If it's my work, and I'm like, so the answer is yes, I could sell. But the thing is, you're dealing with. I had one friend of mine, God rest his soul, is Keith Elmore. He passed, but he hired me to do the greatest, and I'm not the greatest keyboard player, but I'm better now. But he was not. He was hurt. There's more string parts that have to be in, but I'm Keith. I'm only charging you $35. Leave me alone.
You got a discount.
You want the real record? Go get the real record. So that's the whole thing when you're dealing with. Outside,
Yeah.
And so I generally have just been dealing with myself. I can if there's a mistake in it, if it's not perfect,
it's
I'm
yours.
cool.
And it's
Do you want to hear one of these real quick? We have time, Brett?
You know what? You can send it to Brett.
Yeah, we'll send it. I'll put it on. Yeah, send it to me.
He can play it going out.
Yeah. Do you have a video with that as well? There you go.
Careless Whispers.
Oh, that's the one you did.
Careless Whispers. You like it?
I like it.
I play guitar to this. I don't sing it.
Okay.
We can play that if you send.
If you can send it to me.
Brett, we can play that going out at the end of the interview.
All right, I do all these things.
Okay.
I play the guitar, man. That's how I've been doing it.
Well, obviously you got a lot of stuff.
I got a lot of tracks.
I do have one question.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
this probably be interesting. Well. So you've been in this business for a long time.
Yes.
And you said there's a lot of talent out there and stuff like that. People wanting to come into the business. What advice would you give to a person that wants to, at this point in time, in this day and age with all of the music issues, and what advice would you give them if they wanted to devote their life to be a musician?
Well, whatever my path was, I was very lucky. First, I was in a hot town where music was being made at the right time. And I was a good guitar player, and things happened for me. If you're going to do this, if this is your passion for music, you got to do your passion. But you got to diversify in terms of splitting your mind.
Okay.
Go for some real stuff, too. You have to prepare your life so you're not a victim of being a musician.
Absolutely. Okay.
So you have optional ways to keep your thing going. Whatever you do in terms of the internet and streaming, I am not seeing in my mind, this might be an old guy talking, the kind of careers that were built before we had streaming.
Right.
Is there something to that?
It's a whole different
thing. No, you're on.
That digitization of the whole music thing has diminished the value to me. People used to have to make a concerted effort to go to a record store to buy a song because back in the, I can't look back and say compared then to then, but everything that happened for me was because of that element.
Right. It all
Think about it. Dexter got a deal because people wanted somebody to produce records.
Right.
Right.
And I got a career playing guitar through him.
Okay.
And so, you understand what I'm saying? So today, I don't know.
I mean, I think you're onto something. I feel like yes, achieve your passion, but make sure you have almost like a plan B.
A plan B.
And also what I liked about that you said earlier is that you paid into your Social Security yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
young people. If you are making money,
take care of your future.
Take care of your future. Pay into your Social Security.
It might be 401ks for them.
We
don't know what
the
Social Security is going to last.
I mean, we don't know. So that I also vote.
You got to vote because these other people want to take that one away.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there's you make sure that you start saving, and it's never too early to start saving, especially if this is what you want to dedicate your life to do, because the money, a lot of the money is cash.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, you know what? This has been really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're going to have to do a part 2, part 3.
Yeah, you got stories.
We might be doing
days.
a part 45 of this. No. It might be the presidency. No, that's good. I'll cut that. Okay, that's fine. We want to say that it's been an absolute honor, privilege, and pleasure to have Herb Smith with us today.
Oh, thank you. It's
A wealth
my honor. Of
knowledge
thank you so much.
and understanding of the industry, and somebody that you definitely will want to get to know.
Oh, thank you.
So hopefully this will help you. This is people like us. When I say people like us,
That's
people
what it's
like us.
called.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Because the thing about it is, we should know who we are. A lot of times we don't, but hopefully through knowing others like Herb Smith, we get to learn more about ourselves. Mm-hmm. All right. So, on behalf of Toni, Love Trower, Herb Smith. Matter of fact, you got something you want to say real quick?
I do. If you like what you see, please share, hit the like button, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
There you go. All right. Herb, any last words, man?
No, this is a gas. I appreciate you guys even taking the time to do it.
All right.
It's
Thank you so much.
Our pleasure.
Really
what a pleasure. I mean, I could sit and listen to your stories all day.
And believe
That's
it,
why
and
we might need a part 2.
We're gonna need several parts.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My name is Captain America. Okay, that was nice. That wasn't funny then. All right, this is People Like Us, and we want to thank you all so much. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Next time. Y'all take care.